If you guys are ready, go ahead and start laying back. It's nice and relaxed. Start to let some good deep breaths flow. Feel like any stressors, any tension, any worries that have been on the brain the last couple of days, so those have a chance to release so that for this time together, even if it's just for this hour, we get a chance to be present with our bodies, present with our breath, just feeling good. So the words that we're playing with today are sugar and spice. So the spice part of it is we're going to do a couple of different things that help us to build just a little bit of strength in the core, get that area a little bit more alive, more fired up. It kind of wakes us up, gets our cardio going just a little bit, just a little taste of it, not too much. And the sugar parts are parts where we're going to go a little bit slower, a little bit deeper, just kind of luxuriating in some of those delicious poses that are kind of like a lot of people's favorites. And so that sugar and the spice, they are contrasting ideas. If you only have sugar or only have spice, life gets thrown off balance. I know you've probably had a dessert that's way too sweet, or a meal that's way too spicy, and it's just not balanced. So that contrast brings balance to life by including just a little bit of both of them. And I think that just life in general needs a little bit of both. So for instance, just a quick example, my mom, she grew up on a farm, and they used to work all day from really early in the morning up until about 2 or 3 in the afternoon, really hard. So that was like the spice section. Just working, doing all the things you need to do, take care of the plants, take care of the animals. And then when it got to be about 2, 3 in the afternoon, that nice hot part of the summer, they would grab inner tubes, walk up the street and float back down the canal and just do that over and over again. And for them, that was the sugar. That was I just get to be here relaxing in the nice cool water, just taking care of myself and my body. And so that's what that sugar and spice can do. It's working hard, it's doing good things, but it's also that delicious part of life, not just the passion, but also the self-care. That good balance is what we're trying to look for today. And if the intuition has any guidance for us about how we can include more of the sugar or more of the spice in life, listen to that. So let's begin now with some physical stuff. Let's take the knees into the chest, do a couple of easy rocking movements, hands on knees. Let it just ease that low back for just a breath or two. Good. So we're going to start off with a little bit of that spice, getting just a tad into the core. So first, let's take the hands behind the head. The knees can stay in that curled in shape. We're going to do 10 crunches. So take an inhale, prep, and exhale, crunch the torso up to the knees, and relax back. Move with the breath. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now start to twist your right elbow to the left knee, sending the right leg out long. And we're going to switch. So twist left elbow to right. And switch. Good. Taking 10. 9. Try to lift the elbow up as much as you can. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Hug around the knees. Pull head into the chest. Last one. Arms and legs stretch away from one another. Exhale, circle back into the tight little ball. Good. Doing that one. 9. Arms and legs stretch away and curl back in. 8. You choose the difficulty by how high or low the legs go. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Let's take a little bit of sugar. So let's do a figure 4 stretch, right ankle to left thigh. Just set up that hug. Start to invite us to move into the hips. For me, hips are one of those really sugary spots. It's like I love stretching that area so much. So give that area a couple of good breaths. And feel how nice it is for the heart to have had a moment to pump, for the lungs to have had a chance to really get itself flowing. It's like those are kind of like the spice aspects. It's something that kind of wakes us up, gets us into the power mode where it's like, you know what? Yeah, I have energy. I have the ability to do things. I'm strong and a powerful person. That's the spice of life. Let's keep that breath slowing down as we're in this sugar part. Let's take 2 more breaths right here. Beautiful. Let's just go immediately to the second side. So left ankle to right thigh, set up the figure 4 hug. We get the breath to slow down even more. Like when you get thick like molasses and honey, like things just go a little slower. That picking up of the heart rate is really healthy for us, but also our heart needs to have that ability to go back down to rest. Let's take 2 more beautiful breaths right here. Huge inhale. Exhale. Good. So now as you release, we're going to take a spinal twist. It's going to turn into a sequence that gets us into some leg work. So this is kind of weird to explain, but get your leg that's further away from center of the room, hug that knee in. And then the other leg gets to just rest on ground. So it might be left for one of us, it might be right. This will eventually turn us in to face the center of the room. Nope, stay on the other one. Yeah, that's good. Good. And then start to head this leg into a twist. So the knee should be falling to center of room. Give it a couple of breaths just to spiral. Spine kind of waking up. Take 1 more good inhale. Exhale. And then continue to roll over onto your side body, the side that faces you to center of room. So your head can either be resting on upper arm or resting in that hand. Now your top hand pressing into the ground is going to be super key for where we're going. Our legs, instead of straight line, they're slightly pointed in, just kind of like a banana. That gives us just a little bit more core effort to work with. So again, top hand is super key. Otherwise, the shoulders are going to be wanting to wobble like crazy. Now, top leg lifts up level with hip. We're going to do a couple of things here. The first one is a double kick forward and a double kick backward. It's okay if you're a little faster or a little slower than others. But notice how if you don't have that core control, it's the shoulders want to just go crazy. So try to push the hand into the ground, engage the core, Shoulders are moving very minimally. Good. Let's take another 5 kicks to each. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Let the top leg rest down when you finish that one. We're giving the outer thigh area that just worked a little bit of a break. We've got one more little exercise. So this one, it'll look like a bicycle. It's going to be 5 to each direction. You start by lifting the top leg up. The leg stays stick straight as it kicks forward in front of you, and then bend the knee to send the leg straight back behind you. That's what turns it into the bicycle. Now kick straight to bend back. You're taking another 3, and back, 2, and 1. Now we reverse that. So bend the knee to extend forward, and then straight leg kicks back. And 4 of those. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful efforts. Back to sugar, banana pose. Whatever leg was your top leg, cross that ankle over the other. As you return your hips back down, you're taking a banana toward the side that you were just leaning onto. So if you were leaning to your right, you're taking a banana to the right. It would be left ankle over, legs to the right, and then grab left wrist, arms to the right, or all of that vice versa if you need the second side. Feel how that gets just a little bit into outer thigh, also outer ribs, outer shoulder. Nice and easy. Slowing things down. So one more inhale. Nice long exhale. Okay, you're taking the twist to the second side, so the knee that did not hug in before, hug it in. It'll be the one that eventually points you away from the group. Start to head to the twist. Body falling over the over cross. Nice and easy. One more deep inhale. And with the exhale, roll to the side that faces you away from me. The head can be resting on the upper arm or in the hand. Remember, the legs are like the banana, so rather than stick straight, they're slightly swiveled in. And the first one is the double kick forward, double kick back. So lift the top leg level with hip and 2 kicks forward, 2 kicks backward. Notice if the shoulders are wobbling, trying to oppose what the leg is doing. If that's the case, top hand presses even more into the ground so that you can engage the core strength to leave the torso still. Good. Let's do another 5. And 4. 3. 2. 1. Give the leg a moment to rest when you wrap that last one up. Huge breath flows in, out. Okay, this one's that bicycle one. So top leg lifts level with hip, kick the straight leg forward in front of you, and then bend knee to send the toes back behind. Keep it straight as you swing back forward and come behind. Another 3, 2, 1. Then we reverse it. So bent knee extends straight in front of you to swing straight leg back. Bent knee kicks forward, straight leg swings back. And 3, 2, 1. Good. Whichever was your top leg, cross the ankle over the other, roll onto your back, and banana to the side that you were just leaning toward. So upper body is both shoulders, both hips touch floor, but everything, the limbs, the legs, the arms, are trying to lean like a magnet back toward where you are. Good. Let's take one more huge inhale. Easy exhale. And then we start to release arms and legs, recenter the body on the mat. We're taking a bridge pose, feet flat, hands are on the floor by the hips. And then roll the hips up as high as they can go, maybe hands clasped under your back. Try to keep the knees slightly engaged, squeezing in just a little. One more huge inhale. Exhale as hands release. We're going to prepare for fish pose. So when you set the hips down, sit your glutes onto your hands. Slide the legs long. Do a little crunch to get the elbows to prop you up from underneath. And then heart lifts up, head rocks back, front of head just grazing floor. Get the heart arching. Move, or rather be with the speed of your breath. We've got about 3 rounds to go slow. Whenever your 3rd breath finishes, your chin comes into chest. Unwind your hands to prop you up. And take a little chance to lean forward over the legs. Let's give this spot 3 more breaths. Spine comes easy up. We're sliding the bottoms of feet together. This is a really sugary section, but this is not quite as close as cobbler. So this is quite a bit further forward with the feet. From there, take a moment to tilt the spine forward and especially let the head droop forward. So whatever angle feels good, give it some time. We're starting to get into some of the low back tightness. That's one of those chronic spots for a lot of people. So this is some sugar, some self-care for that low back area. So to help those low back muscles even more, what we're going to do is slide our right hand to rest on the right knee. Right arm starts to straighten out. This will naturally tilt head to the left knee. You can even just free left hand to prop you up off to the left. Right arm pushes us over to left. Feel how this helps to stretch the muscles on the right half of the low back. So that's that sugary spot we're breathing into for a few more rounds. Slowly bend the right elbow, sending our head back through the center. We switch our hands out. Now it's left hand pushing into left knee so that we get the left low back stretched. We ease back through the center, settle into another really delicious spot for a couple of more breaths. I personally love easing my elbows under my knees, kind of wrapping the arms underneath like that. So if you really like how that feels, that's fine. You don't have to. One more huge inhale. Exhale, we'll unwind the arms, start to walk the hands back in. The legs can just come into easy cross leg while we take a moment for shoulders. So sitting spine up nice and tall. Let's allow right ear to drop over right shoulder. If you want the left hand to extend away, that could feel nice. Now, as the head tilts slightly behind right shoulder, you're rotating the jaw up. We're trying to get the stretch to the muscle that connects right up to the corner of the jaw. So if you don't quite feel that, readjust until you do. And return the head back to neutral over shoulder. Tilt the head slightly in front of shoulder, nose starts to turn down. The goal is getting into the muscle that connects up behind the ear. And continue to roll chin down to chest, head nice and heavy. Head starts to work its way over to left shoulder. Bring it to that neutral spot first. Maybe right arm reaches away if you like how that feels. And tilt slightly behind shoulder, jaw rotates up. Head back to neutral over shoulder. And tilt slightly in front of shoulder, nose turns down. As we roll chin back into chest, we're getting back into those muscles on the back of the neck. If you don't really feel anything, you could get a little deeper by clasping hands, resting those clasped hands on the back of the head, not to pull head down, but to weigh it down. One more huge inhale. Exhale, let's ease the head back up. Maybe a little shoulder roll. Good. Let's head onto hands and knees. We'll do a few of the cat-cows, moving at the speed of your breath. As we're wiggling the spine in these ways, that series of leg things that we did while we were flat on the floor, we're going to try to do in just a moment from a kneeling half moon position, and then taking similar stuff eventually later on into full half moon if the balance is there. So that'll help that leg strength, that'll help challenge the balance. Just take 2 more of these cat cows first. Okay, so for the kneeling half moon, let's keep the left hand down and the left knee down first. I swivel my toes off the mat on that left side. And note that I see a lot of people when they go to half moon trying to almost go to like a side plank and then trying to hold their weight up. It's much easier if you keep the weight of the hip over the knee. So kind of even scooting it back just a little bit. We'll have left hand, left knee down, and then the right leg and arm float. So this is going to be a lot smaller of a movement than when we were laying on the ground, but we're going to try to do 2 small kicks forward, 2 small kicks back. So it may not be more than like a foot. And we'll take 4, back, 3. Notice how it kind of throws your balance off, so don't feel like you have to go too far. 2, and 1. Good. So rather than that scissoring motion, let's tap the side of the foot to the floor and then lift the leg up as high as you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If right hand and right foot can connect behind your back, take a moment to feel that connection, even kicking into it to open the heart. Just a teeny bit of sugar before the second side. One more inhale. And exhale as you gently lower back to kneeling. Let's do a huge hip circle. So hips go clockwise as big as you can. And counter. Good. So right toe swivel off the mat. We're stacking left hand, left hip. Good. So first the small kicks forward and backward. Double forward, double back, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, and then the foot taps, tap to floor, and up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Maybe play with hand and foot connecting just a moment. Behind back. A little arching to the heart. Nice inhale. Exhale, releasing down. Another huge hip circle, clockwise. And counter. Good. Let's do a little sugary moment in puppy pose. Walking hands forward, droop belly and heart down. Sometimes I like to have forehead down instead of chin, just so that I can place hands together and then swing the palms behind the back of my head. You don't have to take that, but if you like how that stretches triceps, you can add that little bit of sugar in. One more good inhale. Exhale. The hands return back to floor, and then we work our hands underneath us. Okay, so this is going to be a little fiery core movement, so a little bit of spice. What we're going to do is try to let the knees float just a couple of inches above the floor. So that's option 1, just to hold like that for a little while. Option 2 would be from holding that position, you then take right knee to try to tap right elbow, left knee, left elbow. If you're doing that, let's take 10. 10, 9, 9, 8, 8, 7, 7, 6, 6, 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3. Good work. We're almost there. And last one. Each up to downward facing dog. Let those legs extend. Hips lift high. Float the right leg briefly. Right foot will step to outside of right hand. And then let's take lizard. So the back knee can lower down. Sink the hips forward. Sometimes I go to elbows. Sometimes I stay up on hands. It's all up to your hips. After that little bit of core, we're going back to some sugar. So slow things down, nice and easy. Let's slow it down even more, 3 more breaths. Two. Even slower, 1. Good. So coming up to hands, shift the hips over the back knee. Let this right leg be kind of off the mat to that right side, but start to extend it straight. So this is like a wider half split. For me, this is a sugary moment because I like how that slightly wider shape just gets into different muscles than if you're directly forward. So it's nice to kind of play with it sometimes. It's nice and easy. Moving belly down through the center. More inhale, exhale. The right knee comes underneath the body. We're either in kneeling plank or full plank. You can do a full flow or do a little push up and then cobra or sphinx. The downward facing dog. Let's take that second side. So left leg floats briefly. Step it to outside of left hand and lizard. So back knee is welcome to lower. Maybe elbow, one or both lowers. Two more breaths, try to slow it down. We come back to hands. It's that wider half split. So leg, that left one straightens out. Hands stay in front, lean forward. As that leg starts to work the left knee underneath our body, we're in plank or kneeling plank. Take push-up or chaturanga, sphinx or cobra, and downward facing dog. With this down dog, enjoy it as long as it feels useful for the legs. At some point, you're welcome to come up to top of mat, not a rush to get there, just when you're ready. Do one more good inhale. Exhale. Inhale to rise. Hands down to heart. So we'll do a little bit of spice here. This will be largely about quad strength. We're taking it to fierce pose, so either big toes touch to keep the knees safe, just pressing against one another, or feet right under hips, but just make sure the knees aren't knocking back and forth. So they're staying right over the ankles. We set the hips back fierce. With the arms, we're going to do a little cycle going back and forth between that sugar and the spice. So first, the arms come up by the ears. As we pull the elbows wide, we feel the shoulder blades squeeze together behind our back. Extend right back up by ears. And then sweep the arms down and behind us, getting a little stretch through the front of shoulder. Good. Repeat 4. So this is the spice, that strength. Shoulder blade squeeze, extend back up, and droop down to the stretch. Good. And 3. 2. 1. Good. Clasp hands behind your back. Keep the knees super bent and let the arms start to stretch back behind you, shoulder stretch. The knees bent is where I like it at first. That helps the shoulders just get a little bit deeper. Just take one more breath at that though. Nice inhale. And then exhale, fingers release to floor. And then walk hands over to the right side. Good. Walk hands over to left side. Back through center. Inhale helps us rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Starting a little flow, the right knee floats. If you'd like, if this isn't too hard and you want to try to go for right hand to foot connection behind your back for just a little quad stretch, that's fine. If it's balance is off, just float the knee a little bit today. Just a good breath or two, quad stretch. Take back to warrior 3. Land warrior 1. Open warrior 2. So now arms float up right by the ears. And then we start to lean the upper body forward, getting to an angle where we can feel the core alive, trying to hold us at that long angle. Good. Breathing, about 3 more slow breaths. Two. 1. Open back out, warrior 2. Straighten front leg, triangle, reach left hand forward, left hand to shin, right hand to sky. Feel how this is preparing us for half moon in just a moment by helping the chest to find an open space. Good. Rising up. We're taking it to half moon. So often I'll shorten the stance first. Cartwheel the left hand to the outside angle. Right hand and right leg float. If just holding this is enough challenge, that's okay. If you want to try for just 3 sets of the kicks, it's a small kick in front of us, 2 of them, and then 2 small kicks behind. It's not very far at all. And 2 sets, and 1 set. Good, and then the leg lifts, lower it down a little bit, but then lift as high as you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Let everything release down to forward fold at top of mat. And all those side leg muscles relax. Nice inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise. Last little bit of spice in our class. Hands to heart. Balancing on right foot. Either float the left leg or quad stretch, grabbing behind back. Use back warrior 3. Warrior 1. Warrior 2. Arms up by the ears. Lean the torso forward to that angle where you feel the core alive. Try to hold you strong. Breathing. 3 more breaths. Two. 1. Warrior 2. Straighten front leg. Triangle, right hand reaches forward to drop to shin, left hand sky. Good, rising up. Shorten the stance if you'd like to get into that last half moon, right hand down. Floating left arm, left leg. 3 sets, trying to do 2 small pulses of the leg kicking forward, 2 small pulses back. 2, 1. Good, and then lower leg a little, lift it as high as you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop down, forward fold. All sugar from here to the end. Just good, sweet things. Let's circle our way up to rise. Reaching to sky, hands to heart. As we drop the right hand to right thigh, moving the left hand up and over. Inhale. Exhale. Circle down through the center, drooping low. Inhale, both arms circle up to sky, rising up. Exhale, hands to heart. Left hand to thigh, right hand up and over. Inhale. Exhale, circle down to center. Inhale, reaching up to sky to rise. Exhale, hands down to heart. Let's do 1 more of those to each. So inhale, lean to right. Exhale, lower down center. Inhale, rise. Exhale, heart. 1 more left. Lean, inhale. Exhale, circle center. Inhale, rise. And down to heart. Circling up to sky, inhale. Exhale, directly down, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fingers front down. We're traveling back. We're eventually setting up from a down dog into a pigeon pose, but if you'd like a flow first, you're welcome to add that trigger in for you. Otherwise, whenever you're ready for pigeon, right leg slopes briefly, right knee comes under and through when you're there. So listen to what would be best for you. Do you want to stay up today? Do you want to go directly down sleeping pigeon? Whatever you like. Exploring with our sugar. The sweet, beautiful parts of class. For me, it's like this, some of these poses are what initially kept me coming back to yoga. It's like, I love it when we get to that section of class. Slow, easy breaths. Not for too long, just 3 more good breaths. Get up to down dog to switch. If you'd like a flow in the middle, that's up to you. Otherwise, just a nice down dog lift. Eventually sending left leg through when you're ready. Choose your perfect variation of a pigeon sleeping or heart arching, whatever you like. More breaths. When we finish that third breath, we purposely rocked your left hip. Swing both legs out in front of us, wide angle. Hands are on the floor, just slide directly forward and through. Looking the hands back in. You can either stay here if this is really comfortable or come to cross leg. But let's let the right arm cross over the body, left arm hugs it in. And then perhaps head tilts over left shoulder. Open with a really good inhale. Exhale, left arm across. Maybe head tilts to the right. Nice inhale to open. Good. And with the exhale, let's start to transition toward our Shavasana. So any last poses you'd love to take, any last bits of sugar for the body, whatever feels really useful. This is our chance to explore anything else until sooner or later we're ready to just release, relax, breathe. It's not a rush to get there. Still no rush if you're still exploring beautiful things, that's perfectly fine. So much of our society has become about the spice part. And not to say that this is accurate for everybody, this is what everybody needs, is more sugar. But when we're in that spice aspect of life, that fiery movement aspect, it's all about doing. It's all about productivity. It's all about doing more in the shorter amount of time. And it's easy to get burnt out with the spice. And so let the Shavasana be a chance to sink back into the delicious self-care, the slower, comfortable aspects of life. It's not that that's where we should dwell all the time. Even the bear has to wake up and have a summer of foraging. But the key is balance. And so with all that nice fire spice we did today, let the Shavasana simply allow the body to breathe and settle into being. Maybe even giving yourself a little gift of some honey, some loving thoughts to yourself. Maybe thinking of 3 things that you're amazing at, 3 things that make you so happy. Okay, let's begin to deepen our inhales, our exhales. Introduce little movements back to fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching it out in ways that feel really nice. Sometimes a good fetal position off to one side. More beautiful breaths, and we start to rise up. So with hands at our heart, we recognize how important it is to have the balance, having the spice in our life and also including the sugar, helping to make sure that we're not burning ourselves out and we're not also becoming that couch potato. We're right there in the middle, doing good, creating amazing change in our life or in the world, and also enjoying the process, enjoying the journey, loving our body and our mind and our experience. So with sugar and spice to lead us forward, let's wrap up the time we got to share together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.